and Brother R.J. James. They're all going to be there. We're all going to be doing classes. We're all going to be doing readings. You can actually come and meet us and talk to us. We're going to have a wonderful party gala after the workshops and after the day is done, and you'll be able to come and hang out. It's just going to be a fantastic time. We did one last year in Denver. That's the Mile High, and we had such a wonderful crowd, and we're really looking forward to having people there. So tell your mom, tell your dad, tell your brothers, tell your sisters, tell your aunts, tell your uncles, tell your nieces, tell your nephews, tell the guy down the street.
Tell everybody that you know, and share, and share,
and share, and share.
So that is a phenomenal lineup. I've talked with several of these different people. I love a lot of these people. I'm a big supporter of community. I think that this is going to be a huge event.
I'm hoping so. We're just starting to do this, and basically what we're doing is we're putting these events together throughout the country, place by place, and we're going into places, and as you can tell, we're naming each one after the nickname for the city, Big Apple, Mile High, and what we're trying to do is, rather than have to have everybody come to the thing, you know what I'm saying? Like, oh, it's going to be in the Aleutians and you have to fly to Alaska. What we're trying to do is say, no. It's going to come to you, okay? It's going to be in Colorado. It's going to be in New York. It's going to be in Los Angeles. I guarantee you it's going to be in Dallas. 100%.
I hope so.
Absolutely, because Tata Candelo, my good friend, is moving here to where I live. And so, people have mixed feelings about that. I'm like, yay! Everybody else is like, oh, God, they're going to be in the same place at the same time all the time. Jesus, what are we going to do? And I'm like, you're screwed. So
you're going to have to get him a set of boots, nice pair, custom made, like those ones on your website.
Oh, we're doing all of it. We're getting him boots, a hat, a duster. He needs all of that.
I'm a big boot person. I've worn cowboy boots a lot of my life. Mostly now I do it because of my back. It readjusts my hip, takes the pain off of my sciatic nerve. But I've always loved them. A good pair of boots will last you a lifetime if you take care of them.
Mm-hmm. Or at least for decades.
Yes.
At least for decades. And you kind of need them here because we have things that bite. Candela
will have fun with that.
Yeah, it'll be easy, man.
So, what tips or tricks or anything that you could give to our audience that you feel would help lift their readings to new levels? Things that you feel that are important for either seasoned or new people that are getting into divination.
Since we're speaking broadly and we have to address many different forms of divination, let's keep it broad.
Yes.
Keep in contact with your tools, whatever your tools are. I mean, I pretty much walk around all day with a deck of cards in my hand. All right? In other words, I dislike this practice of placing our tools away, okay, and only going to them when we need them. To me, that's like I have 2 grown sons, okay? And when I mean grown. They have children. And every parent knows the feeling of, once your kids are grown up, of having them only contact you when they need something, all right? And so I feel like that should be stopped between we and our tools, only going to them when we need them. I think we need to be touching them more. I think we need to be dealing with them more. That's not to say that they should necessarily be taken out of a sacred space if your tools belong in a sacred space, or if your readings can only transpire in a sacred space. By all means, they have to be kept there. But I guess the broadest, most general piece of advice I could give is stay in contact with your tools. The next piece of advice I would give is figure out where the hell you fit in the universe. Okay? I have a thing I say in my work before I begin a piece of work, whether it's conjure work or divination, I say, by all the spirits that serve me, by the spirits and ancestors who walk with me, and by my God that I serve, I now, okay, etc. So in other words, I know my place in the universe. Let's neither humble ourselves too far. Oh, I'm just nobody. Okay, well then you will be nobody. And let's not go too big. I know everything. I'm the almighty. No. Let's know our place. And let's know who we work with and why we're working together in anything we're doing. Okay? And for me, that's also terribly important amongst humans. I know people that honor the spirits. Boy, do they honor spirits. Who honor the ancestors. Man, they've got the most elaborate ancestor altar you could ever. Man, they're out every day buying flowers and candy and fruit, and they treat other human beings like shit. Yeah. All right, let's stop that. Let's put a. Can we 2018? Can we not do that? All right.
It's a sad thing when, as a spiritual being, or practitioner, reader, it doesn't matter what tradition, when you can't follow what I consider to be basic tenets of treating people kind, nice, and you can't open yourself, treat people better than you treat, whether it's your tools, your pets, whether it's ancestors, whether it's your spirits. The way you treat people reflects the way you really, truly practice from the heart.
That's right. And it reflects who you are. Interestingly enough, in Hebrew, the root word of the words righteousness and the word charity are the same root word, tizad. Okay? So in other words, charity and righteousness are hand in hand, you see. So how we treat people determines kind of who we are. And as a Jew, which I am, for me it's about action. I don't care. I don't give a damn what's going on inside people's heads. Okay? I care what they're doing. Okay? I care what your actions are in this world. Man, you can go home and close your door and cuss me out. Okay? You can call me everything but a child of God. I don't care. I care about how you treat me in the street.
It's important, how we treat other people, how we, lift and take care of community. I mean, we've lost that whole sense of community in the world.
Well, let me tell you about the idea of community within the context of spiritual work, particularly within the context of diviners, since this is the divination table, and unfortunately within the world of hoodoo. When you go and look at spiritual paths that are initiatory paths, no matter what's good about them or what's bad about them, they have community.
Yes.
All right? It's built in. It's built in. The rest of this doesn't have this. Okay? You can go and read the entrails of a crow professionally. I don't know where you're going to be getting all these crows. But that doesn't come with any network. You see what I'm saying? And the same is true of conjure and hoodoo. It doesn't necessarily come because it's a non-initiatory tradition. All right? And therefore, you have to do one thing. And if you do this thing, you will form community around yourself. You will become the nucleus of a community. And that is this. You have to treat people with compassion, empathy, respect, and decency. Period.
Amen.
Okay? Because you're the person, this stuff didn't find you, you found it. No matter what you feel like your spiritual story is, you still found it. Okay, you became the diviner. You became the person who put your shingle out and said, "Come on to me for $6.95, and I will read thy cards." Okay, you therefore put yourself in the exact same room as the lawyer, the doctor, and the priest. Oh, and the bartender. Okay, if you don't want to deal with people, if you don't want to deal with people's problems, if you don't have compassion, if you don't want to exercise your own humanity towards others, please do everyone and yourself a favor and run the fuck away from being a part of something like this.
Because it takes a lot, you know.
Oh, yes, it does.
You can't not care about people, not care about humanity, problems. You can't not have compassion and do what we do.
And you can't expect to have a community without those things. Those are the foundation, the founding principles of community. Co-munity. Not bi-munity, not tri-munity, co-munity. To work together, like cooperation. Okay? We have to be giving and we have to be taking. And that is the next thing I would say. For God's sakes, please remember that you can't pour water out of an empty cup. Okay? You have to have something back too. The worker in the vineyard is worthy of their due. Okay? You are worthy of being paid. Don't let anyone tell you otherwise. You are worthy of respect. You are worthy of decency. You are worthy of humanity. You are worthy of compassion as well. So, because you have to understand, you're dealing with people sometimes who are essentially drowning. Okay? And any lifeguard in the world will tell you that if you don't handle a drowning person correctly, what will they do? They will drown you.
Exactly. They will take you down with them.
They'll take you down with them. So you have to know how to help them. And so, you know, there are a lot of people who are doing this and they're just having a good time. And by all means, have a good time. But realize that there's going to come a day when someone's going to come and sit on the other side of the divination table from you. And they're going to lay out a question in front of you. And you're going to go, oh, wow. All right? And it's no longer fun and games.
I have done that.
Let me give you a little example of that. Going back to talking about reading cards in a run. There is an old American card reading principle about two cards appearing together. Okay, three cards, I should say. It's the Ace of Spades, the Ten of Spades, and the Joker. Okay, so obviously you have to have a reading style that would ever allow those to appear together. We already talked about that. Right. Now, they have one meaning: a murder or a murderer. In all the years I've read, I've seen that those three cards together 3 times, just 3 times, and in each time, 2 times, there was in fact a murder. And that was what the person would come to talk to me about, was a murder. The 3rd time was the person I was reading for was, in fact, a murderer. So you want to talk about, fun and game time ends.
Yeah, that would put a damper on your day.
Right, and you've got to know what to do, okay? So we have to have our humanity, and we have to share it. Otherwise, why are you doing this? Because, listen, I tell all my young students this. You can make more money as a butcher. I mean, seriously. You can make a lot of money as a butcher. I mean, you can make a lot of money as a car mechanic. Have you seen how much air conditioning and heating guys are making? Man, double time for them is I could pay off my house, okay? By all means, if you're in this to make money, go get into something else. You'll make more money.
On that note, I want to thank a few people in our chat room that came and joined us live. We've got EF Still, RK, I'm not sure if it's Gomes or Gomez, Annabelle, Terry Smith, Nasor. They came to join us live. Before we head out, how would our wonderful listeners be able to get a hold of you if they wanted to do a reading, Biblionmancy, if they want one of your incredible lamps that you do?
It's easy. You just go to ProfessorPorterfield.com, the home of all Professor Porterfield